Welcome, everyone, and welcome back to Adjacent with Jace, the tabletop interview review show for the Adventures in Euphoria from the Black Tower Stories. I am, of course, your host, Jace. And with me today is a power gamer, but not a player shamer, a high-roll factory, more dangerous than a phylactery. When he's late, we hail him so we can start the show. Playing a wizard named Calum, it's my old friend, Kilmo.
Hey.
Classic. So how's it going? I understand you had some face drilling is the politest way of saying it.
Yes, I got 3 fillings today.
Oof.
At 9 o'clock.
Just pounding it right in your face hole.
Pretty much.
Save it. Save it for the show. Well, I'm glad you came on eventually. The joke in the intro was fairly accurate because you're not always the first one on.
No.
Well, when you're the only guest, though, it's pretty easy to be the first one, though. So you got lucky. You got lucky this time. Yeah. But we will be discussing the latest episode of The Adventures in Euphoria titled Home Evictions. Because I get to title all these things, so yay. It was supposed to go up on our YouTube channel today at noon, but there was an error when it was uploading, so unfortunately it will be up later tonight. I was having issues trying to get it to work when I got home today, so it is not currently available on YouTube, but it is available on our Twitch. As a still a VOD is still available there, so you can watch it there when you're done with this show. But we are here to interview our good wizard buddy Kilmo today about last session and all the sessions beforehand, because it's your first time on.
Yeah.
I was doing this alphabetical for characters, but Gorbeck was busy today, unless I wanted to interview him in his car, and I didn't want to do that. So yeah. I'll just interview you in the void that you exist in as a Zordon duplicate.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start off with the simplest of questions of, you know, the basics. How do you think it's going so far? These first few sessions have been, I would say, up and down, but they're pretty much very normal and then quickly colliding with the ground every time we got into a combat.
Well, it's been very up and down for Caleb, that's for sure.
You fall unconscious, get back up.
I've fallen unconscious, dropped down to 2 hit points, and yeah, all around gotten messed up. But I believe as a campaign as a whole, it's going pretty well. You know, those levels of 1 to 3 are always deadly. So you have a health sink.
If we've been in Eric's campaigns long enough, 1 through 20 is pretty deadly.
Yeah, but okay.
There's just the window of things that could kill you get smaller, but you just wind up never facing those things at higher levels.
1 to 3 is very deadly. 3 to like 12 are like somewhat deadly. 13 plus is you're fucked.
Everything you go against is deadly. If you didn't think it was deadly before, it has now been turned extremely deadly.
Everything can pretty much take out your health in a single turn.
Quicksand carpet? Excellent. Glad I prepared for this. We have a lot of people in the chat. We have Ari yelling out Kilmo with 3 exclamation points. Very exciting. There was EPS 5000 who claimed to be first, but
was a liar.
Unfortunately, he was not. We do count our moderator in this case because he's not a person of the show. He just makes sure robots don't come in and infect this lovely stream.
And our mods are awesome.
And I'm pretty sure he's going to put first every time he shows up, whether he's first or not. So we'll go on to the second question, as the first one was very obvious, very basic. That was meh. It's the meh question, just to get the ball rolling. Next question, wizard. Why?
I've actually always loved playing wizards, and this will be the first wizard I actually get to play through a full campaign.
Well,
My last,
maybe.
yeah, you're not wrong. My last wizard was a gnome wizard named Sidnar.
That was your
And
replacement wizard, right?
replacement?
Because you're playing Strahd, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
That was the reason why I don't really count that was because I was on the road traveling the entire time. So I would come in once every 2 months to play 1 or 2 games, and that was it. So it was very difficult to enjoy that character as much as I want to enjoy a wizard. And I hope this time I get to play them to the fullest extent, and hopefully up to level 17 at least.
Right. That was true because your guys' Curse of Strahd game, you weren't present because it was an in-person game, but you were always available.
Yeah.
So do you guys like jump levels basically in between every time you came?
I would, yes.
So you would be like, all right, level 5.
I would end up
7,
going up on the
level 9.
I would end up going to D&D Beyond, leveling the character up, and Lyle would end up playing my character and like texting me in the middle. Would you fireball yourself to kill like 15 minions? Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
I'd fireball myself to wake up in the morning. Hell yeah.
But that's generally the way it was. So I didn't really get to play him very much. So I would like to play a much more long-term wizard.
Well, luckily you're in the game where as long as you survive, you should. I mean, depending on what type of creepy books you pick up and start reading.
Yeah.
We'll get into that question later. Question from the chat. What's it like to be recruiting for a cult?
It's not a cult.
It's all the cult. What's the difference between a cult and like a school or a religion? Because they all pretty much seem the same to me.
They're not. There's not really much of a difference.
You
because
owe them money. You got to probably sign paperwork. It's all a pyramid scheme. It's always
pretty much
that top wizard at the top recruits wizards below them, and those wizards recruit other wizards.
But yeah, I've liked the idea of having a character go through unconventional methods to train rather than go to school, because I think that is a much more rugged way to go.
As long as you go through the motions and don't recruit someone who turns out to be an evil NPC, they're stuck with us now.
It's very possible.
Here's the one I wanted to get to, because this has been the black eye so far in the first 2 combats. You've been taking quite a beating in these last encounters. You do know that you're not a tank, correct? Like
I do know it.
Go over your head.
But the problem is that dice rolls are almost never in my favor when someone's attacking me.
Sometimes there's not even a dice roll.
Yeah, as
like,
we learned from last campaign,
it hits you.
AC doesn't really matter. That's why you just become a health sink. Like you.
Well, I don't think you're going to do that as a wizard, so you're pretty much screwed in that regard. So just try not getting hit would be...
I'll just wait until we're 15 plus.
Oh, yeah. It's like, fuck yeah. Just beat the crap out of thing.
26, thank you very much.
What was 26? What did you answer?
Eric in chat. He's having to adjust to having an AC less than 25.
Yeah, you capped off at 26.
Yes.
Still hit you magically. Who knew how that worked? I will now read from the stats of attacking and defending, because we've gone through 2 major combats now, and I've acquired quite a bit of information by going through and actually paying attention. I have a question for you, as I like to format these in questions for the guests to see if they've been paying attention in any kind of way. Who has dealt the most damage overall in the last encounters?
In the last encounters.
This is including the DM.
Including the DM, or are you just talking about a character?
No, the DM gets lucky and all of his shits are lumped together. But who has dealt the most damage?
I would say Gander.
Gander?
Yeah.
Is incorrect. Gander is actually tied for third from the worst. The person who has the most would be, due to a massive blow on last session, Volred is top of the list with 44. Do you know who is number 2?
No.
They're your favorite short friend named Izal. And I'm a little upset because I have 42 while Volred has 44. So Volred beat me by 2 points. Do you remember the total that Volred landed on that massive hit?
Wasn't it like 24?
24 is correct, as the largest hit now in the game is 24 points, which is the reason why Volred is beating me by 2, because my biggest hit was 16. So it's going to be the Barbarian and the Rogue are kind of going back and forth right now. I will go right into the part about this, though. You are in last place on damage dealt. Do you know the amount of damage you have dealt?
2.
3. You have dealt 3 points of damage. 2 is your biggest hit.
Yeah.
So, yes, Caleb dead last with 3. Special note to that, you did cast Sleep, which eliminated 31 hit points worth of hit points temporarily. So that is, although not damage, it is noted. But yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, that would be the highest damage dealt.
It would have been, but those people had to get killed later, so you do not get credit for that. We'll go back to stats later on. Back to some questions here, as I eliminate this one from showing. Question from the chat. How would you explain your connection/relationship with Gorbek's character? Like, we know you guys have some kind of relationship. Like, how would you explain, like,
mentor?
Mentor?
Gorbek has, as you guys know, gone through a change. He's wanting to become a better person. Whether that's actually the end result is based on him. Although, based on the last game, he actually did apologize for freaking out and choking out a kobold. So, I think we've been together about 9 months so far, just traveling around and either recruiting or just traveling around, because that's what we've been doing. And we either play at taverns and just learn things, because that's what we've been trying to do.
Do we get to know where you met Gorbek?
Actually, I don't think we actually discussed where we actually met.
Mysteries of the game.
I think we'll actually have to do that.
It's probably a good idea. Like, I know where I met Gander.
Yeah.
Shows how much you care about Gorbek.
I think just in the discussions, we just laid down how we met, not where and what we've been doing since then. But that'll be something we can discuss on a... Actually, you can probably discuss that next week with Gorbek, because we'll probably find out.
Yeah, so hopefully then we will have that information as I will ask that question to him for sure. I will skip ahead to a question for the chat because the question for me, and I love questions for me, this one is who has taken the most damage?
I can answer that
Kilmo,
one.
we know the answer because we discussed this before the show. The answer is Calum, who has taken
Yes.
11 points of damage, and when your hit points aren't that high, he went unconscious on one of them. It was 12 points because it was an 8-point hit and then a 4-point hit. So Caleb has taken the most damage, going
Although,
completely unconscious and partially halfway unconscious. Second place, ironically, is Gorbek with 9. Neither of them were in combat. He got hit by a child and then fell off a roof. So all of his damage that he has taken in second place was
that child hit pretty well.
That's good. 1 plus your strength modifier. That's a strong kid. So, Gorbek is second. I technically only took 4 points, so it was going to be 8, but I half that shit to 4. So
Yeah.
I got the hit points to lend, so if you target me, that's what's going to happen. Go on to one of my prepared questions here, if I remember which one was. This one? Yeah. Which PC interaction are you development are you most looking forward to? Like, I know, well, currently, apparently you don't know how the hell you met Gorbek, so maybe that's something you should look forward to.
Oh, yeah. That's something we'll discuss this week. I think it'll be Gander. He is currently the most interesting as the fact that he is another intelligence-based character. And he does magic, but in a different way. And I think Caleb is going to be very intrigued of learning about how he works, because I don't think he's run into very many artificers before.
I'm always intrigued by the wizard artificer interactions in parties because it is that dynamic of one's completely different from the other, but they both use intelligence. So you can't have that smarty Poindexter wizard or an artificer because there's always some other person that's smart there to check their shit. So like in Tater's campaign, I'm a wizard and Lyle is an artificer, but for the most part we stay out of each other's head because when it comes to like knowing arcana, I am superior. When it comes to inventing shit and figuring out how the mechanical magic items work, he's better at that. But like, I just know wizard stuff. But like, we don't butt heads. We work together a lot more than we do hate each other.
I think it'll be very interesting working together with him.
Although he's seeing you just get the shit kicked out of you, so maybe he's like, you're not as smart as you look. Your PhD was mailed in or something. I don't think you got a degree in survival.
Yeah.
We'll go to a question from the chat as I jumped ahead to do the most damage one because I wanted to make sure I got that one covered. Of all the characters you've played, which has been your favorite?
Honestly,
that's kind of a good question. I think a lot of us, our favorite characters are the ones from Eric's previous campaign.
Yeah,
because it falls into one of my questions of which is the longest campaign you've been in, which was Eric's previous one, I think, for all of us. And we just, when you go from level 1 to, we went 18?
17?
Why can't we get to 18? Because I was multi-class, so we were multi-class, so we never got the top stuff.
No.
But you spend all that time, 3 years on one character, like you see the growth and you get attached to them.
And I also had the most player growth in that time. Because if you remember in the very beginning of the campaign, I was very much no RP, just power gamer.
I intimidate him. Okay. It's like how? Like, I roll at him dice. Like, okay, you get out your gambling set and you try to shoot some craps in the corner. No.
But
Ari is upset in the chat, by the way, because you did not say the twins.
The twins was played for one game. It was the greatest game ever. Like it was as one shots go, that was pretty much it. That was hands down my favorite.
I think you have to separate one shot characters from campaign characters because I've played some fun one shot characters, but
because playing twin rogues with Ari is an experience in of itself. But yeah, back to the question. I learned a lot more playing that game than I ever did playing the previous games. So playing a paladin cleric Omlik, it was my favorite. I love playing that game. I hope to replace some of the favorites with this game.
Hopefully. I mean, you just gotta replace one of them. If it's the character you like the most, then it would be Caleb now if it was superior. The DM's trying to pan for some attention by saying, because you also had an awesome DM, but I mean, we don't support DMs in the chat. Sorry. We'll go on to the next question. What is your perception of the other characters in the campaign? How do you feel? This is a permanent question. It'll go on your permanent record, so we can judge you based off of it.
Okay. Arthur seems like he is a sheltered but adventurous character, if that makes sense. And I'm intrigued to see how he will progress in the story. I don't know if he's really reached his stride though, because I feel once we get more intertwined as a group, I think we'll see how Arthur really is, because I don't think he's opened up quite yet. Izal, Caleb doesn't know what to think about Izal yet. He is very thankful that she has taken Gorbek under his wing, under her wing, though.
What? I feel like the short people got pawned off on me.
Well, you went with him. I was gonna go, but then you went with him.
That's just instincts.
Yeah, but because we both know that he's gonna get into trouble. Like he would have gotten into trouble.
I sense danger with you. Allow me to help you.
You have danger sense. There it is.
I do now. I was like, shit. Why is it always going off in this party?
Get used to it.
Like you covered Gander pretty well.
Yeah. Gorbek, I'm pretty sure we've gone through that.
Just gotta find out.
He's a loose cannon. He's a loose cannon. But Gorbek is life. That is, as chat likes to say.
Eccentric. After the creme de la creme, what about Volred?
Volred is very much in your face without being in your face, because he likes to get in your face, but he doesn't know like that he's in your face in a bad way. So it's
Volred, he's always behind some kind of shield, keeping you separate from what he's really feeling, like a mask, covering his emotions. Also, he wears a mask the entire time when he just stares at you.
But his instincts work really well, and he's carried his own from what Caleb has seen. So he's looking forward to seeing how that will progress.
All right. Well, we covered what's your opinion on Mizak? He's not really a party member, but
Oh God.
quick question? Do you think Mizak's gonna get on that boat? Cause I recommend bringing him on the boat.
I left it up to him, but I think he's going to try and go with us. I don't know if he's going to stay with us, but I'm pretty sure he's going to go to another mainland and try and make his way in a busier city, because in busier cities you could probably see kobolds wandering around in the cities, whereas he will just be the lone kobold in the city if he tries to do that, or he'll be the kobold who ends up stealing and gets caught.
I'm a little worried that we might have started a habit of adopting people at the very first episode, and I'm concerned that it's going to be an ongoing thing. Because,
yeah,
I mean, although Arthur is keeping track of Mizak right now, because Arthur did not throw an axe at Mizak to try to get him to stop. That was my way of trying to get Mizak to stop, was to throw something at him. Arthur is his hands-on approach, literally, to everything in his life. So I think they're like co-parenting this weird lizard child, and Gorbek's like a weird adopted child as well in there. And then Gander is the oldest that, like, he's in college, but he still lives at the house despite, like, he needs to go somewhere else.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Let's go on to there's a lot of questions that have come from the chat, so we're already halfway through, everyone. I will go to another stat real quick. There is, how many deaths have there been total?
1.
Like overall, all the fights.
Wasn't I the only one?
Deaths. You fell unconscious. You didn't die. How many things have been killed?
Oh, how many things have been killed?
Yes.
I thought you were talking about parties.
This is a stat, by the
7?
way. What? No, we're not. First of all, we're not counting session 0. Session 0s are not canon towards stats. The answer is 3. There have been 3 kills, 2 cockatrices, and 1.
We're not counting the summon things?
I'm not counting them.
Okay, well, that's where my number came from.
I'm not counting them. Those little bramble bushes, they didn't do anything. So I'm getting 3. Out of the 3, Arthur has 2, Volrid has 1.
Yeah.
It's a kill stealer. Yeah, like the chat said, I'm not counting the small ones, just because they had like 3 hit points. Okay, and for that stat, we will go on to another question. What's the longest you've gotten to play in a campaign? We already got that one. We'll skip that one. That was the last campaign with Eric as you played Omlik.
Yep.
This is an important question because we hit level 2 at the end of the last session, which was a milestone for a lot of us. But since we don't have a warlock, sorcerer, cleric, or druid in the party, you are the first one to be able to pick some sort of subclass. Do you want to divulge what subclass you picked? And if not, the question here is, as a wizard, aside from the school you chose, what is your favorite?
All right, so...
Because I know what you picked because I've talked to you in the past 6 months.
Pretty sure others have guessed it based off of the last 10 seconds of the game, but I picked Order of the Scribes.
I'm the old bookworm.
And I have a tie between 2 different schools, enchantment and abjuration. I love the ideas of both. Divination is a close third, but there's not enough divination spells, really.
Divination's for the portent ability, be honest.
Yeah, that's
the broken ability that is important.
yeah. But a divination, you don't go divination for divination spells. You go for portent. That's it.
Well, you can't. There's a powerful divination spell that came out recently. Mind Spike.
That's what I have.
No, you have Mind Sliver.
Oh no,
Mind Spike is a damaging spell, and it's also a divination spell. It lets you like track them for like the next 24 hours or something. But with the divination wizard's ability to like regain the spell slot that's lower, they can upcast Mind Spike to like a 5, get a 4 back, cast it again at 4, get a 3 back. Yeah. So you just kind of climb down the ladder dealing damage. But so they're kind of good. I'm glad you didn't say evocation anywhere in there. Evocation is just
Evocation is
boring.
Fun at low levels.
It's boring.
As you go,
levels,
at fifth level, when you get a fireball, it's fun. But after that, it just drastically loses its power until you get up to 17th level. And then Meteor Swarm. But
man, I like Abjuration. Glad you said that one. I like the idea of Enchanter as an evil character, but not as like a playable character. I wish Illusions were better, but they're not. So
Illusions are great once you hit level 15.
Illusions are great if you can get them to work.
Well, level 15, they become permanent.
Yeah, but you gotta live to 15 as an illusion wizard. With your ability is to make something that's not real. And hope it works.
But, what was I about to say? I don't remember.
Enchantment, I feel you need charisma for it as well, which means you're kind of multi-dependent on attributes for that one.
I played, Sidnar was an enchantment wizard, and splitting enchantment spells broken when you have a high spell DC.
It's just about the hold person and dominate person, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, now you're both on my side. Yay. Let's go to some chat questions. If you could pick one party member other than Gorbek to teach magic to, who would it be?
I'm
just talking to my mic when I look over to the side.
We heard you fine. Arthur. I think he's very up close and personal, being the character that he is. And I think teaching certain spells to an up close and personal character would definitely break some game mechanics. Like haste, for example. That would drastically change the outcome of any fight.
I mean, judging by the last couple of fights, I don't know if I would want you to be casting haste on me. Your ass gets knocked unconscious every fucking round. It's like,
yeah, well, by the time I get good concentration spells, I will have better defenses and hopefully not get hit.
Nothing's as great as getting haste cast on you and then immediately getting that concentration dropped.
I think that's happened like
I did it to you.
A month ago?
I did it to you.
Yeah, a month ago.
Legendary action.
Or 2 months ago.
Break concentration as you had hasted the barbarian. It was like, this is adorable. Break. Bevo did not have fun in that fight. He was stunned or controlled the entire time.
That was hilarious.
Good times. On to the next question. That one's for Jace. I already answered that one. Let's see. When are we going to hear you sing since you are the current performer?
Probably never, because I'm not a singer.
What? You've got that wonderful, deep, rotund voice.
Yeah, I don't sing for anybody. I enjoy singing, but my voice sounds like nails on a chalkboard.
Bathroom singer. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But I was not expecting to be the only performer with a bard in the party, but he's had some really bad rolls.
How's your charisma? I don't know what your stats are. Like, is your charisma okay, or is it?
Yeah, my charisma is a 14.
You didn't dump it like half the party?
No, my strength is my dump stat.
I think 3 of us have like a -1 in charisma.
Well, the reason why I went is because with my character being the one recruiting people.
A cult recruiter, you need charisma to get in the door and really convince and lie your way to steal children.
But also, I sort of made it so that Caleb learned to perform while he's traveling to make it easier to stay at inns and to bring money in while he's on the road. And that was a part of my backstory before me and Gorbek before Bevo even talked to me about joining up.
Yeah. That's interesting. Still want to event. Last session, we'll get you to sing. The final session of the campaign, we'll do a karaoke special. Which is awful on Zoom, by the way, guys. Never do that on Zoom because it never links up and no one's singing correctly. I've heard it. It sounds awful.
It would have been interesting if Bevo had actually gotten people to sing "We're Going on a Bear Hunt." I'm glad nobody joined in on that.
Just go sing in the tunnel that we're supposed to be using to sneak up to the thing we're going to go kill or evict from the home. Yeah, good thing we didn't listen to that.
Yeah.
Good thing he said he was playing it quietly. I don't know how he played the drums quietly, but I guess he found
Finger drums.
We have another question for the chat. This one's apparently for both of us. Favorite thing about playing D&D in general?
You can go first.
Me? Okay. I like it when I get to play D&D. I love role-playing. I hate combat. That is a big thing about me. I don't like combat because statistically, 99% of the time when your character dies, it's because of combat. So I'd rather avoid combat altogether.
Well, if memory serves, in last campaign, you did miss an entire boss fight.
Yeah.
By happenstance.
I didn't get hit, did I? I stayed alive in that combat. I was not in it. Although
one of the only ones you didn't go down.
I was critically hit multiple times before combat even started, just to throw my whole equation out of the way. It's like, fine, I'll hit you before combat. Like, fuck. I guess I'm in the fight now with 2 hit points. Great.
The reason why I like D&D so much is it, especially with Roll20 and Zoom. I'm in a different part of this country and I can play with my friends every single week. It was something like I love playing D&D and hanging out with my friends. If it wasn't D&D, we'd be playing board games, which is what we used to do every Saturday.
Harder to play
and
online.
Then we played D&D. And whenever I started traveling for work, it sucked because I wasn't able to play anymore. Which is why I tried playing like every couple of weeks whenever I came into town. But whenever we started the last campaign, I was still traveling, and thankfully I was still able to play through Discord and have fun with you guys on my brick of a laptop that I had.
Yeah, you probably weren't going to be able to stream in that situation because you had hotel Wi-Fi, which is basically a brick, but it's enough to talk on.
Yeah, so like with that, a laptop that I ended up buying, I bought it for like $50, and running Discord lagged the computer. Like I could not use the dice roller on D&D Beyond.
My computer shut down. Fuck.
So, and I had to use the Wi-Fi on my phone because hotel Wi-Fi is garbage. And that was fun.
Yeah, that is answering that question. And one of the final questions we have from our chat is, when does Izal plan on growing a beard? Fun fact, although in Dungeons & Dragons, female dwarves can grow beards, Zellas do not grow beards if they're female. They just don't. So, the Zellas cannot grow beard if they are female.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For you.
What? I never get asked questions unless you guess gets 30 of them. Shut up, Eric. It is canon. It's my lineage.
Are you ever going to play a...
Don't ask me if I'm going to play a non-dwarf character.
No. Are you going to ever play a character that is not a part of your same family in one of Eric's campaigns?
That's interesting, because I like the fact that I have a whole slew of characters that have names that are related to each other, and every one of them are different. And like,
I love it.
Like I have a history that I could recall and go back on. It's like, this person did this in their life, this person did this in their life, and I'm different from the huge slew of them because fuck all that, which is the general trait of the Zellas. They're basically fuck tradition. I want to go on a trip.
Yeah, I love that about your character. I just didn't know if you were ever planning on it.
So, like, my backup character is not a member of the family, but like I've had backup characters planned that aren't part of the family, but are still in a way intertwined with the family lineage as well. It just depends on which one I decide. And then, luckily, my characters usually don't die, so I mean, I'm pretty handy. I played a cleric, which I came the closest to dying, aside from the people who actually died. And I didn't die, so yay me.
I think you were planning on a different character as your backup character.
My backup last session was Izal.
Yeah, I think that was Izal near the end, but not in the beginning until you met her.
No, Izal was, because I didn't plan on dying in the beginning at all. It's like, if I had died, it's like, I don't fucking know what I'm going to do. I never plan on dying. I get attached to characters. And then I try to avoid fights. Like, let's not get in fights. We didn't get in we went to 18 levels, and we did not, overall, not a lot of fights, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
But the fights
were a lot of it was...
A lot of the big fights were fucking awful, though.
Well, all the fights that we were really in were meaningful. We didn't really have much in terms of travel. Not really, except for that alligator.
Which was kind of BS.
Deadly.
Considering it was a deadly encounter that was just to introduce a character back.
What was hilarious.
Like, oh, look. Oh, he's in danger.
Oh, we see him. Oh, he died in one shot.
It's odd that someone who's, like, so stealthy would get snuck up on by an alligator whose passive perception is a 10. Yeah, interesting. And at a -5 for disadvantage, it'd be a 5. So I don't know how someone with a base dex of 5 who could never roll lower than a 6 would ever get saw by an alligator. But okay, sure, mechanically.
Well, yeah, that was hilarious.
But yeah, so I would. My backup character is not Zella, but I do enjoy playing Zellas because it's fun to have a lineage. Like, imagine the next campaign takes place 30 years in the future, and you're playing Calum's daughter. But how would you is Calum's daughter a wizard? Who did Calum marry, or who did Calum get in a relationship with? Is Calum's daughter a sorceress because the relationship you were in, the relationship you were in happened to be with like a magical being. Like, you don't know, and it's fun to make a lineage and then play it out in game. It's just fun.
Well, Calum is also a
Kari,
different,
right? Which is magically infused humans, is what I always assume. Yeah. Which is the homebrew race of one of the many homebrew races in this campaign setting.
Yeah, it's actually based off of. Let me go to it. I'm trying to remember.
Based off those dudes from Castlevania.
Oh. I can't remember the name right now. Vidalcan.
Oh yeah. I remember for your character creations, like you can play a Vidalkin, but they were just kind of out of place. So it's like let's do something with it. I just said don't turn them blue. There you go. We have another question. This one's labeled to both of us. Do you have a philosophy for character creation, be it mechanical, aesthetic, or etc.? Mine is Zella. If I choose to play as Zella, there is a build that I follow when I'm doing that. There's a base stat, which is your main. Secondary stat, always Constitution.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Golden hair as a Zella trait. And typically if they're adventuring, it's because they fucking hate their parents, usually. Zellas are not known for being good parents.
They're not known for being good anything.
Family. Despite their best efforts, they usually fuck up somewhere. Like, I don't want to do this. Or like their kid's just a little shit and doesn't want to do it. And that's where you get someone who just leaves.
In the last campaign, there was a interaction with your Zella Kelder with their son, I think it was.
It was my son first.
and you got punched in the face.
I'm pretty sure I hit him first, though.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't remember that. And then there was you got stabbed by Izal.
I think it's
in the worst way possible.
I got emotionally stabbed by by Kelder's daughter.
The worst way possible.
Yeah.
And that had me in tears.
That sums up the basic relationship in general between the parents and the children for the Zella family. And for the most part, the way it is, there's usually a black sheep every generation or so that kind of goes off on their own, and they're usually the ones that wind up being the shit parents. Like Kelder was one of them. Izal right now, I was a black sheep and went off to do stuff, but I'm not a parent. I'm real young, so who knows how that's going to happen. Axel was at the very beginning. Axel was a black sheep and wound up being the real shit parent to start it all off.
Well, I'm pretty sure Axel got his ass beat by his wife.
Axel was legit afraid of his wife, despite being extremely powerful, but he knew better. It's like, I don't know what kind of shit she could do, but I saw her melt a granite stone down into liquid. I'm out.
And that's why you said Axel was traveling.
Axel traveled a lot. It was to escape. Question for Kilmo. Oh, you didn't answer the question. Sorry.
What was the question again?
Going over your philosophy in character creation, whether it's mechanical or aesthetics.
It used to be mechanical. It used to be
because you're a power gamer mid-max.
Yes, I was that's what I liked. I loved min-maxing. And that's what got me into D&D, is hitting the high numbers and breaking games so that Eric would get pissed off at me. And
I wonder why he just makes up numbers now.
But it's evolved into trying to fit the character more, or change your character to fit the narrative better. Like with Calum, before I even rolled his stats, I came up with his backstory and what he was and how he did everything. And then I didn't roll his stats. I point by all his stats and adjusted
I rolled them.
From there.
They were shit, so I picked point by.
My rolls are never shit for that.
Never shit in general.
But yeah, I try to fit the narrative better now, because power gaming is less of what I want to be now.
I'm so proud. We taught him something, guys. Everyone in the chat, we taught Kilmo how to do one thing. Yay, go team. 2 claps. We have more questions coming in for the chat. This one was the one that was directed to you. Who is your top pick for the Deadpool? This is a good question.
Gotta pick myself.
I think our general rule is you can't pick yourself for it. Although, given
my past,
Gorbek and Gander are high on the list, but like I said, have not taken as much damage as you and have not fallen unconscious.
Well, I think I read at the end of last game, Caleb is top of the Deadpool.
I think it is currently top of the Deadpool.
Yeah. I think it will be either Izal or Arthur.
Damn. Fuck.
Izal will always be in the front, and I don't think anybody's going to die until about level 3 or 4. Izal is going to be up front and heavy, and the only thing that she's going to have defense-wise is rage.
A shit ton of hit points.
Yes, but near 3 or 4 is when you're going to start getting hit with stuff that are not going to be affected by rage.
I hope I get hit by poison. I have advantage against that.
Arthur, while I believe he has a higher AC than you, he has less hit points and is also in close quarters, which will generally mean for a bad time. And I just looked up. No, he has this less armor than you do.
Yeah, my AC with shield is 17, dual wielding is 16, unarmed dual wielding one weapon is 15.
Yeah, he has,
I have to keep track of those 3 because I do change what I use in the middle of combat.
Every single turn.
Well, it's all about utilizing your turn effectively, Kilmo. You min-max your shit in your own way. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna waste my turn doing anything.
Yeah. Question. Do artificers get res? You're level 5, right?
They are half casters, so they don't get a 3rd level spell until level 10, I think. I think. They max out at 5th level, much like the Paladin did, so I don't know. You multi-class, I don't know when your spell shake came on.
I think...
We have a Bard, though, and Bards can do all kinds of shit if they want to do that. They could do Song of Revival or some dumb dance, but like there are options. The problem is we have to get to those options. We're level 2 now. I will answer there's one question remaining that I see, and it is questions to me is why so many Izals? Like Izal is a name passed down through the Zella family for powerful females. And it's not a name given, it's a name earned. So
what's the given name? What's her given name?
You don't know that.
Do you know it?
I know it. And the DM knows it. It's written down in my thing for it. But so Izal is a name. That's why my backup character last time was Izal. Because technically it was his daughter, and so technically Izal's aunt is also Izal. Because Keller's daughter was Izal. Because she was a powerful female, and they got the name Izal. But that is why there are so many of them, because it's more of a title. Yeah. That's why. There's quite a few of them throughout the family lineage, but it's an odd thing that most history for the Zellas, they don't remember females as historical things, like, oh, they did great stuff. They primarily focus on all the men, which is a issue that Izal has. All the Izals tend to have that issue with them. That's why they keep like a title saying, fuck you, I'm an Izal.
That, and I'm pretty sure when you start talking about Izals with your family, they like to be lumped up together with other powerful females of the family. Because it's a title.
Yeah, don't take no shit from nobody. I got a few questions prepared still. Most of them are pretty ones. There's the big sits based off of stats. So I think you kind of went over how you build your character, so I'm not going to... But the most important one I like to go over is there any particular magic items that you're fond of and you're hoping to like possibly get, like that you've gotten before? I know Gander said Staff of the Magi, which I don't think we're getting that. I don't think you can use it either because it requires a wizard or sorcerer or bard.
I don't know. There's a. I've always been a fan of the Robe of the Eyes, but that doesn't really fit this character because he's not really wise. But a staple for all my characters is always the Bag of Holding, because I am the one who amasses everything, and I think that is the answer that I'm going to go with because of, yeah.
You got a handy haversack.
Although I do think a wand of spell splitting will be nice, or a ring of spell splitting would be nice.
Oh. Yeah.
But that would be broken.
I don't know. I've invented quite a few magic items that allow you to at least concentrate on multiple spells. So. Yeah, but that's up to. I like homebrew shit, so I'm excited for anything Eric makes that's homebrew.
Eric likes to make very legendary homebrews, and
Eric question for Kilmo. So, book, what the fuck? Good point. You have about a minute. What the fuck was up with that book, dude? Talking to random ass books. First of all, it's clearly evil. It's talking to you, and it thinks you're fun. I've been with you for a couple days. You're not fun.
Well, you are also not a magic caster, and
axe. I open locks.
Muscle Wizard cast fist.
I am the locksmith.
With the book, it's an idea that I came up with a while back. I wanted the Order of Scribes book to actually be a sentient being that I can talk to. Who that is, I'm not going to reveal. I know some details, and I know some details of what we have talked about, but I don't know everything, obviously. But yeah, he's I think it's going to play out very interestingly, and reading what was on paper when Eric was talking came out very creepily. Like, he was talking very creepily about like what the words that he was saying, but I had to choose to not listen to the creepiness because he was actually like writing down instead of actually talking that way. So it came off a lot more yeah, cryptic is a good way to put it.
It's creepy.
It came off very cryptic and ominous, a lot more than I thought it would be. But
the real question is it a sentient book, or is it a soul trapped in a book?
I don't know. We shall see.
This brings us to the fucking Feywild. I'm gonna be so pissed. Hey, you know Eric likes doing this crazy shit.
And I don't plan on going Warlock.
Back to the Tome? I was a Tome Warlock. That was fun. Get like a million cantrips.
Yeah, but most of the Tome stuff I already could do as a wizard.
Yeah. Well, with that final question that we answered, it will be the end of the Adjacent with Jace episode 4 for Home Evictions. Thank you for coming on, Kilmo. It was a joy talking to you, of a 17-year gaming vet that we've been playing for a long-ass time.
Oh, yeah.
So once again, follow us on our social media accounts, Black Tower Stories on Facebook, on YouTube, Black Tower Story on Twitter. It was weird, we couldn't get all the words in there. But they are available in the chat as well. Next up for next week is scheduled to be Gorbeck. Bevo will be hopefully on, unless there's a scheduling issue. And then Volrid following that. The episode for Adjacent with Jace will be live on Saturday around 12, unless there's another issue I had today. The episode from last Tuesday for Session 4 will hopefully be on sometime tonight as I try to fix it. So you all can watch it there. Again, you can watch all our VODs available on Twitch whenever we're done streaming. And thank you again, Kilmo, for coming on.
It's been a pleasure.
You can go back into the weird Sephiroth cloud void. You go into whenever you're not around here at any point. Thank you again, chat. And I'm going to cast my vote for Calum on the Deadpool because he has a creepy book that'll probably get somebody killed. As long as it's not me, I'm fine. But thank you all again. This is Jace signing off. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend and see you all on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central as we continue on with the Adventures in Thoria by the Black Tower Stories. Peace and deuces, everybody. Bye.
Peace.
Walking hand in hand on the ocean floor, down deep we wonder. Louder we sing, no there is no cure in this together.